It's a mystery still looming over the Hampton Roads community.
Prosecutors are disappointed with today's results.
The district attorney wanted murder. He got manslaughter instead.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, and here we talk about all things true crime related. In today's video, we will be discussing some cases that are going on in the news right now and what's happening with them. First, we're going to start off with Aiden Fucci, which is out of St. John's, Florida. I released a video last week, I want to say it was last Sunday, about the upcoming trial that was set to begin with jury selection on Monday, February 6th. Well, Aiden decided to plead guilty to first-degree murder. For those that missed that video, Aiden was arrested in 2021 when he was just 14 years old for the murder of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey, who was a classmate of his. Tristyn was reported missing by her family on May 9th, 2021, Mother's Day of that year. She was later found that same evening in the woods by someone who was out for like a walk, a run, something like that in the woods. Tristyn's autopsy would reveal that she was stabbed 114 times, and during one of those stabbings, the tip of the knife would break off inside of her body. So Aiden was arrested shortly after she was found and charged with second-degree murder. But soon after, it was upgraded to first-degree murder, and even though he was just 14 years old, he was going to be tried as an adult. According to those closest to Aiden, he discussed his plans to bring someone into the woods and stab him. Basically, the same exact thing that happened to Tristyn. So Aiden pled guilty to first-degree murder this past Monday, and his attorney made it clear while pleading guilty that they did try to reach out to the prosecutor's office to receive some sort of deal or anything that may benefit Aiden. However, there was none of that to be had. It was basically just a straight plea, I guess, according to the judge, meaning that there was no type of deal. Now, there will be a hearing for the sentencing where Aiden's attorneys will discuss mitigating factors. Here, they can discuss his mental health issues if he has any issues he's had with his parents, and basically anything that would give him a better sentence, I guess, will give him, for lack of a better wording, a better reason for having done this. The next hearing will be on February 23rd, and there they'll discuss how long until they'll be ready for the sentencing hearing and how long they expect it to take for them to discuss any factors that they find. He could receive anywhere from 40 years to life in prison. However, it does appear that his case should or could be reviewed in 25 years due to his age at the time of the murder. So shifting to Andreen Mcdonald. Andreen Mcdonald, I released a video about his wife, the case of Andreen Mcdonald. He was charged with the murder of his wife, 29-year-old Andreen, in San Antonio, Texas. Andreen went missing back in February 2019, and her remains were found in July of 2019, which is right when her husband Andre was arrested for her murder. Previously before Andreen's remains were found, Andre told police that, well, the first story was that she went to the hospital, and police confirmed that that was not true. His second story was that they had a fight and that she left and he has not seen her. In the video where I recapped the case, I told you guys that Andre actually took the stand and tried to explain his side of the story, where he actually described him and Andreen getting into a fight that basically went too far, and he found himself kicking her while she was on the ground to try and knock the wind out of her. When their special needs daughter appeared to be watching them, he would put her back to bed. I believe she was about 8 years old. So he would put her back to bed, come back, and he had allegedly found Andreen not breathing. So from there, he didn't know what to do. I guess he landed on disposing of her body in the middle of the woods because he allegedly didn't know what else to do. So a jury found him guilty of manslaughter, and last week a judge sentenced him, thankfully, to the max allowed of 20 years in prison. If anything else comes up in this case, I will go ahead and keep you guys updated, but hopefully this is the last time we hear from Andreen Mcdonald. Missing and presumed murdered mother of three, Ana Walshe's husband and accused killer Brian Walshe was in court on February 9th. During the hearing, the defense told the judge that they have not received basic evidence such as search warrants and items of that nature yet in the case. The DA's office said that this was because there is a grand jury actually reviewing the case, and they hope to have an indictment in mid to late March. There's a status hearing on March 1st, and that's pretty much all that came from the hearing is that the defense says they haven't received stuff. The prosecution said that they are expecting a indictment in the grand jury, and that's pretty much it. Other than the status hearing is now going to be on March 1st. Cohasset, Massachusetts resident Ana Walshe was reported missing at the beginning of January, if you remember, by her employer and not by her husband, Brian. Brian was seen on video buying $450 worth of cleaning supplies and other items from Home Depot, and his Google search history has brought up some questions. He was searching things like how long till a body smells, 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to, and how to clean blood from a wooden floor, among other searches. He was arrested shortly after for her murder. Now, we have Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell were both back in court also on February 9th in hopes to be on track for their trial that is set to begin on April 3rd. A super fast rundown of this case for those who I guess are living under a rock. This case is out of Rexburg, Idaho, where Lori and Chad are both on trial for the murder of Lori's two children, 7-year-old JJ Vallow and 16-year-old Tylee Ryan. Both children's remains were found on Chad's property, and they are also charged with the murder of Chad's first wife, Tammy Daybell. There's so much to the story, as I say in every time we talk about this case, that it's just so much, but this is a very basics and as much as you're going to get. So Lori filed a request in regards to having her case dismissed due to violating her right to a speedy trial. Her lawyers argued that her case should be dismissed due to how long she's been in jail waiting for the trial to begin. Judge Boyce, of course, did not rule on this then and said that he would issue a ruling probably in about a week or so of his decision. Also, a motion was filed indicating that more time was needed to be able to file evidence and witnesses prior to the trial. There was some talk about waiting on some things for his specialist to have time to review. He allegedly received some things at the end of December, and he's waiting for his specialist to have time to review them. So the filing date for evidence and witness information prior to trial has been moved from the end of February to March 13th. Also discussed at this hearing was jury selection. It was agreed upon and then ordered that jury selection will be conducted in small groups to make sure that people feel comfortable discussing any issues they may have when it comes to jury questions. Chad's attorney also, again, filed a motion to sever. However, this was not heard at this hearing. I guess the state was not ready to argue this point, so this will be handled at the next hearing, which is scheduled on February 23rd. Real quick, we are going to discuss Richard Allen because there's really not much about him. However, Richard Allen, he was charged with the murders of best friends, 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German back in 2017 out of Delphi, Indiana. He was set to have a hearing on February 13th to discuss bail. However, his attorneys filed a motion on February 7th that requests a delay in the hearing as they don't feel like they'll be prepared for it. And also filed a motion to request a continuance for the trial that is set for March, basically stating the same reason that they do not feel they will be properly prepared for it. I'm sure the judge will probably grant this motion just for the mere fact of, although this case happened, the murder occurred in 2017, Richard Allen was not arrested until this past October. So it's not an issue of going through the courts for a long period of time. So I feel like since it's the first time, it's only been not even, I want to say 6 months, October on the spot right now since he's been arrested. So if his attorneys request a continuance, I feel that the judge will go ahead and grant that, but we'll go ahead and follow that. And I'll give you any updates as the rest of these as they come out. So for the last case I want to talk about right now is Orrin and Orson West. We haven't really discussed them yet in a video, and I do plan to do a more in-depth video on their case before it goes to trial, just to give a few more details. I like to do it right before trial if I can, just so that way I am refreshed on the memories and I can go ahead and do it so you don't have to. So the details of the West boys is So 3-year-old Orson and his 4-year-old brother Orrin were reported missing in December of 2021 by their adoptive parents, Tristyn and Jacqueline West, from California City, California. However, over the course of the investigation, police would come to the conclusion that the parents were lying to the police the night that they reported the boys missing, and they actually believed that the boys were murdered 3 months prior to that December of 2021 when they were reported missing. Although the bodies of the boys have not been found yet, the parents were eventually arrested and are currently awaiting trial. Their trial is looking to be in early March, as it seems if they're just waiting for a place to hold the trial and their attorneys to be free of trying any other cases. It looks like the courtrooms are full, or like I said, their attorneys are currently trying a case. So there is a hearing set for March 16th to discuss details about the upcoming trial. I'm hoping to get a video out prior to when the trial starts. We'll have a better date then. Now, I was going to discuss Alex Murdaugh because I am following that crazy trial, but I feel like there's just so much information that we have found out that I can't possibly condense it into a short video. I may do a video in the next couple days about what we've learned so far in the last 3 weeks because there's so much information. If anyone's following it, please leave comments below. I would love to be able to talk with someone about the things as they're happening because my husband has no interest in discussing true crime with me. He has interest in supporting me, but true crime is not his thing. So please feel free to comment below if you're following the trial, any points that you found interesting. I know we have heard some things in the media. Again, I'm following it pretty closely. So the things I've heard in the media that seem pretty big is the I versus they discussion. They did him so bad. I did him so bad. A lot of these things I will go ahead and discuss in a video about the trial. Hopefully that gets released soon. You know, mom, 3 kids. Anyways, that's going to wrap up this video. If you could go ahead and like the video if you like it, please subscribe to my channel to be notified of more videos like this. I am going to go ahead and try and release this in a podcast form, so we'll see how that comes out. I will let you know in the next video if it was successful and exactly what name that's going to be released under. Now, if you want to request a case for me to cover, please leave that in the comments below. You can find all my social media handles in the description box, along with links for all my sources and ways to support the channel. And until next time, keep yourself safe out there. The world can be a pretty ugly place.